as you just saw on that graphic thrown up there right before we came here, guess it really doesn't matter what the records may be any given year. The Seahawks just completely own the 49ers. As that graphic mentioned, the last 20 games, 17-3 against the 49ers, and outscoring them 529 to 327. Welcome back to Rival Talk. I am your host in a much chipper mood, and basically roles reversed this week. Marcus, how are you doing?
Well, it is what it is. I told you that last week. You guys own us. I was not confident in that game, and I was 0% surprised in the result.
Well, I do have to say they made a mistake flexing that out of Sunday night because that was a crazy game. That would have made for some good primetime football, I feel like.
Yeah, and that Chiefs-Broncos game was terrible.
Yeah, it was rather boring. So they should understand by now that, regardless of the records and all, that Seahawks and Niners usually have pretty wild games. Really, I feel like everyone in NFC West, all NFC West games tend to be kind of wild. So
it really does. Yep.
So future reference, the NFL should probably not flex out NFC West matches out of primetime spots. So.
Sure, why not?
But yeah. Otherwise, you continue to dominate in picks. So you went 5-1 last week, bringing yourself to 34-29. And at least I had a winning week, so I can hang my head on that. I went 4-2, so unfortunately you still gained one on me. But I bring myself to 28-35. So your shirts should be coming in anytime soon now. So yeah, congratulations on that.
No, I'm not going to fall for that. I like we discussed before the call, I won on the very last game of the season last year. That's what you're going to do this year. So congratulations on your victory.
Well, we'll see about that. Yeah. Speaking of congratulations, I should go ahead and just congratulate you for finally beating me during a regular season this week when you beat me in fantasy. This game literally doesn't matter to me. I guess it doesn't really matter to you either, but it depends on if you.
No, I'm out of it right.
It depends if you want a better lottery chance for the draft or not. I guess. Being that you're 5-8, you could either end 6th, 7th, or 8th. I think still, and then I'm at 10-3, so I've just about accomplished everything I wanted to do in the regular season. I still would like to get to 2,000 points again, and I should easily do that, even if I rest starters, but. Yeah.
My starters have been subpar, so I think I might put in some backups this week. They deserve some run.
Right. Yeah, let them build some momentum for next season, right?
Exactly.
But yeah. Before we get into picks, I figure, what, we're getting the playoff race is heating up, and I know this is kind of a crapshoot right now, but what would you say is the Super Bowl matchup right now?
Oh, man. I'm starting to get a little worried that it's going to be KC in the AFC.
Really? Still KC? That
Yeah.
offense is still struggling.
They're starting to get back into what they were before they went through their little slump this year. Man, that's honestly very tough this year. I'm gonna go put two from each league right now, I'm gonna go with the Patriots and the KC Chiefs in the AFC are my top two right now. And, God, in the NFC, I can't do the Cardinals. I just can't. Yeah. So I'll go Packers and still Buccaneers for now.
Yeah, right now I got...
choose.
Yeah, it is. Right now, it's tough for me, too. I'd have to say, though, Packers and Patriots, so... To me, in the playoffs, it really comes down to defense, and Packers, their defense has gone a lot better, and the Patriots, Patriots defense is unreal. So it's very unfortunate that the Patriots seem to be back. So must be nice to take 1 year to rebuild. I wish some other teams that I root for could have done that, but I digress.
Yeah. Pretty nuts that Big Mac attack threw like 3 passes in that game against the Bills and won.
That was the most Bill Belichick game of all time.
It sure was. It was actually, although I don't like it, I respect the hell out of it, and it's kind of cool sometimes to see stuff like that no other coach does.
No, it's still annoying though that kind of stuff is back though. So. Anyways, so on that note, we will go ahead and get into our picks now. So we'll start with the primetime games. We're doing 2 primetime games. So Marcus, we'll start. again, we're recording on Thursday. This probably won't be uploaded till after, either later tonight or Friday morning. So we'll see. But Pittsburgh and Minnesota, as I saw a meme of it, the bowl of the two teams who cannot beat the Lions. So.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
But this was kind of a tough pick. But I'm going Pittsburgh over Minnesota by 2.
All right, and apparently Dalvin Cook's going to play somehow, some way. So.
Yeah, I don't even, regardless, I would have made the same choice.
Mm-hmm.
Him or a healthy Madison is kind of almost the same as a not as healthy
Dalvin. That's honestly why I think Dalvin Cook has pushed himself to play, because he's seen how Madison does when he's not playing, and I think Cook realizes like his job might be on the line, because Madison, to me, does just as much, if not more, that Cook does when he's healthy. So.
Yeah, it's true, and they're paying him a lot, so I don't know what his contract looks like, but it could be one of those things where in a year or two they think about, hey, we can cut this guy and get the same amount of production, or at least close.
Exactly. I'm going to roll with Minnesota. I think they bounce back, and I usually prefer the home teams on Thursday night games, especially Pittsburgh coming off an emotional win that they had over Baltimore, and a physical game too. I just, Justin Jefferson is on a whole other level right now. And I don't see.
Best in the game right now, I think.
I absolutely agree. Totally unbiased. I agree. It's really, you could say 1A, 1B between him and Kupp. So.
I would agree.
Just playing out of his mind, and Adam Thielen's going to be out, so Jefferson's going to get a lot of work tonight as well. But regardless, even if more attention is drawn to him, I haven't seen anyone been able to stop him yet. So.
Can't be done.
So yeah, give me Minnesota by 3. So there's one difference for us already. That could be good or that could be bad. All right, second primetime game, the Cardinals and Rams, another NFC West showdown. So what do you got for this one?
Gross. The toilet bowl. Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to begrudgingly take the Cardinals by 2 in this game, and I don't really have a rhyme or reason. I just flipped a coin between two teams that I can't stand.
Really is a flip of the coin.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and just take the Cardinals Rams. I'm going to take the Rams by 6. I just don't see the Cardinals sweeping the Rams. I think the Rams, they bounce back. I know it was against Jacksonville, but I think they're due for a string of good games, and Odell seems to be getting going. So, yeah, I'll take the Rams by 6.
Okay.
All right, lock of the week. I think we both have the same lock this week, so go ahead and just, say yours.
Yeah, I got Green Bay over Chicago by 2 touchdowns, 14. That's I don't like picking the same lock as you, but this one was just too easy. I couldn't pass it.
Yeah, I got Packers. I got them by 10. Divisional games sometimes are a little more closer, but still 10. Give me the Packers by 10, and it's a Sunday night game, so I'm sure all the dogs will make the correct and smart picks later when we go there.
Yeah.
No spoiler alerts.
Foreshadowing. But yeah, let's just move on.
I'm sure all our dogs are smart dogs. All right, upset this week. What do you got for your upset this week?
Yeah, I got the old Washington football team over the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to go Washington by 2.
Yeah,
I like the way Taylor Heineke's been playing, and Dallas has been faltering a little bit.
Sure.
I'm really hoping that Washington can kind of overtake that division by the end of the year, and maybe this would be the start. They still got to play Dallas twice, I believe. So
that would be an upset because they're also missing Montez Sweat, so they really don't have much pass rush there. So
the defensive line is in shambles without him and obviously Chase Young.
Yeah.
But
this is their
defense that hasn't been as good as advertised from the very beginning of the season. They've been winning because of other reasons.
Exactly. So. Yeah. And Gibson's starting to heat up now that he's healthy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, this is the second straight week of picking Washington upset, so rolling with them again. I think it hit last week, right? Yeah.
It did. It sure did.
All right, for my upset, I'm really going on a limb here because this team I don't think has beaten this other team for a while. I'm taking the Browns over the Ravens. I have a gut feeling about this. Taking the Browns by 3. Ravens, again, divisional games, you never know. I know the Ravens have owned the Browns, but I feel like the Browns are due to get one here. So I'm gonna say it's gonna happen this week. So Browns by 3 over the Ravens.
Yeah, I don't think the Ravens have been playing all that great lately.
No, they haven't. And their defense, now they lost Marlon Humphrey, so their defense is just totally in shambles. So
that's both Pro Bowl, basically starting cornerbacks lost.
They lost all their cornerbacks, lost all their running backs. So Yep. All right. So random game, Marcus. Who you got between the Falcons and the Panthers? 2 5-7 teams.
Man, I was not expecting that one. I thought we were going to pick the same one. Okay. Falcons and Panthers. Man.
At Carolina, I believe.
Cam Newton has been very bad. I don't know if he's...
I'd say he's been inconsistent. He's shown glimpses of being good, but then...
That's true.
He's shown glimpses of old Cam and Patriots Cam combined.
I'm gonna go the Falcons by 1.
All right, I was hoping you would pick the Falcons because I think the Panthers win this one. All right. Well, what's my random one?
I got Tampa versus Buffalo for you.
All right. I mean, Brady owns the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Buffalo, if they lose, they're 7-6. I don't see them like being on the fringe of playoffs. That'd be.
Unstoppable force versus immovable object.
This one doesn't matter as far as home field. Is it in Tampa Bay or Buffalo?
That's a good question. I'm sorry about that. I don't have the answer for you. I should have done that.
You know what? I don't see the Bills falling to 7-6. I think they come out inspired in this one, so I'm gonna take the Bills in this one. The Bucs have been known to drop a game that they should win, and they should win this game, but they're known to drop those kinds of games. So I'm gonna take the Bills by 4.
Okay.
All right. Well, those are our picks, and we'll get to our teams here in a bit. But next up, we got Pooch Picks, so we're coming down home stretch here. Everyone went Drake and Annabelle went 1-1 last week, while DOG went 2-0. Apparently, the dogs all hit on the Seahawks pick, so that was kind of incredible there. But of course, Drake and Annabelle choosing the Broncos for some unknown reason that hit them. So DOG really broke his losing streak after losing 6 in a row and went 2-0 last week. So right now it's Drake 9-7, DOG 8-8, and then the French household at 6-10 with Annabelle 3-2. So a modest 3-2. So hey, it took Henry got 3 wins in 10 weeks, and Annabelle's got 3 wins in 3 weeks. So she's already doing better.
Well, I mean, it's not like there's a high bar or anything, but she did clear it so far, yes.
So, but I mean, hey, we'll see if that continues. So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So, Pooch Picks this week. Sunday night game, Bears Packers, the storied rivalry. So, yeah, week 14, Pooch Picks. Here we go.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
And we're back. Week 14 Pooch Picks. Coming up on the home stretch here, and really everyone's kind of still in it. I mean, Annabelle could still make a run, and if Drake collapsed, Annabelle could still take over the top spot. But, yeah, I mean, every Pooch is pretty much in it. Drake, 9-7 after going 1-1 last week. Amazingly, all dogs correctly picked the Seahawks, so cheers to that. Now this week, we got the classic rivalry matchup, Bears-Packers. Drake, please be smart. And we'll see who he's taking. Bears or Packers? Good boy. Taking the Packers. Smart dog. Looking to stay on top of the leaderboard. Good boy. And now we have Diogi, who bounced back very strong last week after that long losing streak. Finds himself back at 500 at 8-8. Went 2-0 last week, picking both the Seahawks and the Chiefs. So good job, Diogi. Right behind Drake now, trying to get back to that top spot. So yeah, Bears Packers. We'll see who Diogi takes. Hopefully it's a smart pick. And he's going with the Packers as well. So both Drake and Diogi picking the Packers. Oh well to that. At least Diogi's staying smart and, likely staying right behind Drake. So Diogi and Drake both picking the Packers to take down the Bears on Sunday Night Football. Good boy.
What up? I'm outside again. Time for Pooch Picks. Using trash cans here because my sports life is trash right now. I got a Cheez-It in front of each trash can. This is a fake out one. Nothing. This is the Packers. There's Chicago. That is a C, I guess. Look at all these leaves. Man. You ready? Hey. I'm not gonna... Oh, are you kidding? You were right in front of Green Bay and you chose Chicago. Are you kidding? Annabelle, do you want Henry to do Pooch Picks again someday? Very soon? Because you suck? Oh my God. All right.
And we're back, and maybe Annabelle spent a little too much time with Henry, because that seems like a Henry pick this week.
She must really think highly of Justin Fields, because I know he's coming back to start. I think she's just I don't know what it is, but she must love him.
We were talking about she consciously chose the Bears. She was standing over the Packers area there. Yeah. She consciously went to the Bears side and picked the Bears. So
there's just no way that snob didn't sniff that Cheez-It next to the Packers when she was right over it. There's no way. So she literally went around that one or over it to choose the Bears. So I'm gonna have to defer to her for now. I think it's a bad pick, but we'll see if she's smarter than me.
Yeah, we'll see. And hey, if she hits it, then she gains ground on both Drake and Diogi, since Drake and Diogi are both picking Green Bay. So
this would just be a very ballsy pick for someone who doesn't have any balls. It would be a very ballsy pick on her part. And if she doesn't, then kudos to her.
Sure will. Yep. Then yeah, I don't think Henry's ever going to return to Pooch Picks in that case.
Oh, yeah. It'll be tough for him. He still wants it very badly, but it's going to be tough.
This could be the equivalent of running a fake punt with your fourth-string running back at your own, 25-yard line. So
again, not surprising. Not surprising. 49ers special team has been it's been garbage.
And on that wonderful transition, we'll transition it right into the 49ers, Marcus.
Why not? Yeah, last week, like I said, not surprised one bit. And special teams hurt us in that one, and just the owning of especially Jimmy Garoppolo is just owned by you guys more than anything.
Those are some bad throws on those interceptions.
It has looked better than Garoppolo has against the Seahawks defense, but the only reason we even had a shot in that game is because I don't know why you guys went for it on fourth down.
No, the only reason you had a shot in the game was because of Gerald Everett.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
He fumbled twice going into the end zone.
Well, it wasn't even – that one of the end zone, he literally hit him – it was a perfect throw from Russell right in the hands, and he fumbles it. It literally, as he's falling, kicks it up right into – who was it, Jimmy Ward, I think? Someone saying.
I believe that one was Quan Williams,
yeah,
if I remember right.
Literally kicked it right in – that was just ridiculous. He had the fumble earlier, then that, and then
there's no reason it should have even been as close as it was, and that's why I wasn't even as upset by the – it was definitely a pass interference if you ask me at the end of the game, but I wasn't.
Yeah, we can go back to 2019 though.
Not the pass interference.
Yeah,
so.
But on that note, we can go back to 2019 and that Sunday Night Football game in Week 17 with Jacob Hollister being held. So you take some, you give some.
Yeah, I was not upset by the pass interference, quote unquote missed call. There was too many things that we screwed up in that game, and it was just like I always say, it is what it is. You guys own us. That's all there is to it.
Speaking of that 2019 game, I thought it was really funny how these things happen. That was basically roles reversed. Because in 2019 it was the Seahawks driving to that same end zone, same situation, needing a touchdown, and goes to 4th and goal and all that. And so that was. Because you had the touchdown, too. I saw that play. Who was it? Sherfield? Yeah, he was open.
He was there. The play was a good play. It was a well-designed play. He ran it well. It just...
Yeah, if Dunlap doesn't knock that down, that's a touchdown.
God. Yeah, it definitely hurts. There's no doubt, especially since we're still fighting for our playoff lives here. And we're still in the 7th spot, but it's... I wouldn't say that we have a over 50% chance or anything like that to be in the playoffs. I really don't. We lost another cornerback to an injury, Emmanuel Mosley. He'll be back, he's going to miss a couple weeks.
Which hurts.
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell is in concussion protocol.
Debo's still out, right?
He'll be starting at running back this week, probably Jermichael Hasty. We're down to it. But, man, it's just... more of the same against the Seahawks, like I said. Not surprising.
Well, you got Cincinnati this week, so what do you...
Yeah, I guess in the Cincinnati game, one of the main things we'll have to look at is the health of Joe Burrow. I know his hand didn't look very good last week, but I'm sure he's getting round-the-clock treatment. I guess his pinky became dislocated. But he
I must have missed that. I didn't know that.
Game, so I don't think I'd worry about that too much.
Yeah,
I'm a Cincinnati fan.
I must have missed that. I didn't know something happened to Burrow.
Yeah, they showed it. His hand looked like it was like the size of a basketball. It was kind of weird looking.
Wow.
But I mean, he was still throwing spirals, and it was his throwing hand. So I obviously it didn't bother him too much. So no, they lost the game. But I mean, Cincinnati has a lot to play for in this game. So they're not that every team has a lot to play for in most every game. But yeah, this is not going to be an easy game. There's no doubt about it. Joe Mixon is a touchdown machine this year. Joe Burrow is looking like he's on his way within a year or two of becoming a completely elite quarterback. I wouldn't say he's right there yet, but he's definitely on his way. Well coached by Zach Taylor, former Nebraska football quarterback and Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year in 2006, I believe.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jamar. I mean, I don't know how we're going to cover Jamar Chase and Taj Boyd and
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, Alden Tate. I think they have like 4 pretty decent receivers. And we're missing Emmanuel Mosley, who's been very good. It's going to be Old Man Norman and a rookie Diamador Lenore starting, who I do like Lenore. I think he's very good, but he's still a rookie, and it's Jamar Chase. So, the keys to the game would be to keep creating turnovers. I know we created a lot of turnovers against the Seahawks, but we still didn't win.
Well, I mean, gifted turnovers, I'd say. But.
Yeah, that's true. I know at the beginning of the year we were literally getting no turnovers, and the last 3 or 4 games where we've gone 3-1, we've created a lot of turnovers, and that's been a huge reason as to why we've been winning or in position to win games. So that just has to continue. I don't know how we're going to establish the run with JaMychal Hasty being basically our only healthy running back, but we have to somehow do that because it can't be all on Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo did play extremely well against the Bengals 2 years ago, but that's 2 years ago.
Yeah,
you can't really take much again from that. But he needs to bounce back. He had 3 games in a row that were pretty much great, and then he ran into the wall of Seahawks. It's a mental hurdle at this point. I'm convinced of it, and the entire team suffers from it. So my key would just be they need to bounce back. They need to completely forget that and just play their game. And they can definitely win this game. I don't know how likely it is, but I am going to go, just like you did last week, I'm going to go down with the ship. So I'm going to go 49ers over Cincinnati by 4.
All right. Like how it sounds like you basically talked it into picking against the Niners and you picked the Niners. So.
Yeah, I know, you do it all the time.
I did the same thing. Yeah, I've done the same thing. All right, well, so the Seahawks, I mean, most chipper week I'd say I've had, over a month. So, that's what happens when you finally win a game for the first time in over a month. That was definitely the most Seahawks game all year. Had a little bit of everything that you usually expect in a Seahawks game. Some craziness, letting the other team stay in the game when you should be dominating. Wild finish, just had everything. Had everything that we've come to expect from the Seahawks, basically. Offense finally woke up. Russell, this was the first time Russell actually looked healthy. He had some nice throws. There was that one throw to DK Metcalf that set up the Peterson touchdown. That was like a bullet deep ball right in the money. That was beautiful.
I think I liked I don't remember who it was anymore, but it was the one kind of back shoulder to the end zone. I don't remember who it was.
Lockett.
Guy. Yeah, that throw was quite awesome, if you ask me. Maybe it wasn't a bullet or anything, but it was exactly where it needed to be.
I think you're talking about the touchdown to Lockett over Norman.
Yes, and then he kind of, and Lockett kind of, went to his, spun around to catch it. It was
does it a lot.
Yeah, that was pretty. I didn't think it was going to be a touchdown. It was in the air, but when it came down, I was like, "Wow, that was perfect."
Yeah. So
unfortunately,
he finally. Now for sure he looks 100%. That was the game that he looked like he was fully recovered for. It was pretty cool seeing Adrian Peterson score a touchdown for the Seahawks. That's a sense I never thought I'd say. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully, we can get some more. Unfortunately, my Jamal Adams, he had been playing a lot better the last month or so, but unfortunately he tore his labrum and is out for the season. So this trade just gets worse and worse as time goes on. Gerald Everett should not see the field ever again. He must be a closet 49ers fan because he was just doing everything he could to leave them in the game. That was just ridiculous. I mean, there's a chance. Looking at the Seahawks schedule, I've gone into that ESPN playoff machine thing, and they could still make the playoffs. They have Houston, Chicago, and Detroit. Outside of the games against the Rams and Arizona. Those are the two games that are really going to determine it, because I feel like if they play the way they played against the Niners and clean up a few things, they should easily beat Houston, Chicago, and Detroit. And then it's just a matter of those games against the Rams and Arizona, which are divisional games, and you never know, although the Rams do own the Seahawks. So there is a chance. I highly doubt it's going to happen. There's no way it's going to happen, but it's still possible. It's out there. This has been a crazy year, so who knows what could happen, but there is a chance that the Seahawks could run the table and still sneak their way into the playoffs. Either way, I'd just like to see them run the table just so they can end the season with a winning record, so that would be nice. Houston this week. First trip to Houston since 2013. That was a fun game. Richard Sherman had a nice pick six in that game where he lost his shoe. Unfortunately, many things have changed since then. The last time they did play Houston was one of the best games I ever watched, with that crazy back-and-forth game here in Seattle. The keys of this game, keep the ball away from Everett. Just don't let Disley get some action. Everett should be, benched or punished for that game. He should not see the field at all, really.
I told you at the beginning of the year it was a mistake cutting Michael Jacobson from tight end, former Nebraska ball power forward.
I'll act like I remember that name. Second key, stick to the gutsy play calling and trickery. That 73-yard touchdown from Homer at the beginning, that really sparked the team, and the gutsy play calling that Pete really showed that he hasn't shown for a long time. I feel like that really sparked the team and gave him some confidence. So stick with that. Stick with some of the trickery. They had that play where they threw it to Metcalf and threw it back to Russell and threw it down, and Lockett almost had that. That would have been one of the sickest plays ever. Stick with that. You have nothing to lose right now, okay? There's nothing to lose rest of the season. Just put it all out there. Stick with the gutsy play call and the trickery. And then finally, third one, something they finally did this past week. Do it again this week. Control the ball. Control time possession. Don't let your defense stay out there for 40 minutes during the game. So do that, and this is a game they should easily win, though, of course, with the way this season has been, they could just lose this game, but they should win this game, so I'm taking the Seahawks by 7.
Yeah, maybe add a 1 to the beginning of that 7.
Well, I don't like predict blowouts because it never goes my way when I do that. So
sure.
All right, well, this is where we get to our top 5 now, so we're just going to stick with themed top 5s because still just not even going to bother trying to put a top 5 teams list together. So this week, we're going to do top 5 games that we've watched, so obviously these are going to be wins. So top 5 victories that we've watched our teams have throughout, however long we've been watching our team. So,
sure.
And obviously we're going to have to do the flip side. So next week's going to be top 5 worst games. So we'll have to go through and relive some of our worst memories as fans.
Got a lot of those.
Yeah, same. Go ahead and Marcus, kick us off with your top 5 49er games that you've watched.
All right, yeah. I mean, obviously it's been a while since they won a Super Bowl, and I was pretty young when they did win their last one. My honorable mention is actually the 94 season Super Bowl where Steve Young threw 5 touchdowns against the San Diego Chargers to get the monkey off his back. Finally won a Super Bowl. I was just, I believe, a 6th grader, so I didn't appreciate it. So that's why it's just an honorable mention.
All right.
Okay. Now into the top 5. These are all where I was more cognizant and aware. Number 5, 2019, December 8th, I believe, week 14 at New Orleans Saints. It was where Jimmy Garoppolo went toe-to-toe with Drew Brees, a 48-46 win, and George Kittle had kind of a crazy catch and run near the end of that game, and then Robbie Gould hit the game-winning field goal. So it's number 5. Number 4, I have the 2011 season divisional playoffs versus the Saints. It was Jim Harbaugh's first year with the 49ers and their first playoff appearance in a decade. and they call that game the Catch 3. That was Alex Smith to Vernon Davis to win the game. And I will admit there was some dust in my eye when that happened.
Vernon Davis had plenty of dust in his eye.
What was that?
Vernon Davis had plenty of dust in his eye.
Yes, he cries a lot, and he definitely cried after that one. So, all right, I got number 3, the 2012 divisional playoffs at Green Bay. This was a game where it was like a negative temperature the entire game, and Colin Kaepernick ran for a playoff record 181 rushing yards. I don't know if it's still a record. I'm guessing Lamar Jackson or whoever hasn't broken that yet, but who knows? I just know that was a crazy game, and it was kind of Cap's coming out party that year. He actually, his first game, he came in that year against Chicago about midseason when Alex Smith hurt his shoulder. And never looked back until he hit a wall and was not Cap anymore.
Yeah, yep. Anyways.
Yes, number 2, 2019, Week 17 at Seattle.
Whatever.
Just a nuts regular season game. This was the game where Dre Greenlaw stopped, I believe, Jacob Hollister.
Jacob Hollister, yep.
Yeah, at the basic half-inch line to win the game.
Of course, there was pass interference before that, but we've agreed to move on from that.
Yeah. That game was just absolutely nuts. I was dying of anxiety.
Marshawn Lynch's homecoming.
Watching the game with me would tell you how weird I was acting, just because I could not process emotions during that game. It was so crazy. And number 1, this is an older one, but this is one of the first games I ever remember being just completely enthralled by a sporting event. And the 1998 wild card game versus Green Bay, they call it the Catch 2. This was Steve Young to Terrell Owens in the back of the end zone to win the game. Steve Mariucci was the head coach, and Steve Young almost tripped over, I believe the center stepped on his foot. He almost tripped. It was 4th down. He gathered himself and threw a 30-yard strike to the back of the end zone to Terrell Owens, who then got nailed and held onto the ball. And, yeah, crazy game.
Yep.
That's what I got.
All right. Well, for me, I got 2 honorable mentions real quick. First one was against, they had a different name back then, but we have to call them the Washington football team. A wild card game for the 2007 season, so played in 2008. They won that 35-14, but I remember one of my favorite plays of all time, Marcus Trufant had like an 80-yard pick 6. I remember just going nuts with that. That was a great moment. And then like a few minutes later, Jordan Babineau had another pick 6 that sealed that game. So that was a fun game, some good defense in that game. And then my other honorable mention was 2019. I don't remember what week it was, but it was 2019, the Monday Night Football game against the 49ers, where we won in overtime, gave the Niners a first loss that season. That was a great game. That was an insane game.
What is just a crazy year for our two teams in the regular season. Both games were just absolutely insane.
That was. So, then top 5, number 5. Sunday Night Football against the Patriots in 2016. That was the first time playing them since the Super Bowl and the Malcolm Butler interception. And wouldn't you know it, it came down to the 1-yard line for the Patriots, and they chose to throw the ball instead of run it on 4th and goal. That game needless to say, there were a lot of demons exercised in that game and the way things happened. And it was a good feeling afterwards to beat the Patriots and in that style as well. Number 4, the Packers, the 2014 NFC Championship game against the Packers. The only reason why this isn't higher is because, for about 58 minutes, the game was just absolute garbage, and I hated it. So this game really is only on here because of the comeback and what happened. And I remember after Russ threw that 4th interception, I just left the room and just went downstairs and just stared at a wall. And then, I don't know, something in me just told me, no, just go back upstairs, finish it out, watch it, whatnot, and then the rest is history. So I remember there were some onions being cut around me after that game. I had all the emotions after that game. So that was just insane. Number 3, I mentioned this game earlier, the Texans against the Texans in 2017, a wild back and forth game. The Seahawks won 41-38 with a Jimmy Graham, last 20 seconds touch on a Jimmy Graham. DeAndre Hopkins burned the Seahawks all day. That was kind of Deshaun Watson's coming out party, I feel like, too. Unfortunately, that was the game he also tore his ACL and was done the rest of his rookie season. But that game was just absolute. That was one of the best regular season games I ever watched. That was just back and forth, insane. Number 2, obviously, got to have Super Bowl 48 on here. In my opinion, the best Super Bowl of all time. Other people claim to think it's boring, but I don't think it was boring. I thought it was fun all the way through. So obviously, we know 43-8 just absolutely dominated the best offense of all time. What was considered the best offense of all time then, just dominated them from start to finish. And yeah, that was a fun night, an unforgettable night for sure.
I'm totally with you. By the way, I'm sure it's never going to happen for me, but a blowout of your team blowing out somebody in the Super Bowl, best thing ever.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because there was no stress because that's one of the most stressful. I mean, I went through all the stress the following year, but like there's no stress in that. Like you won, so it's like just sit back and enjoy it.
Yep.
And then number 1, Marcus, you care to take a guess?
Yeah, I know what it is. This is. I think you can guess what my number 1 will be next week as well. So go ahead.
Yeah. So number 1, the 2013 NFC Championship game against the 49ers. The tip. We also had our own version of the catch, that 4th down play to Jermaine Kearse. I remember.
By the way,
what was that?
The real Super Bowl.
We all knew that coming in that was going to be the real Super Bowl. We know whoever won that game was going to win the Super Bowl. So,
yep.
that definitely was the real Super Bowl, and that game had it all. The drama, everything, big plays, just it's going to be hard to ever top that. It would have been topped if a certain Super Bowl went the Seahawks way, but I'm sure you know what my number 1 will be next week.
Yeah, I think we both have some
obvious number 1s for worst game next week. So, but yeah, that was a fun game. I know you might disagree, but that was a great night. So
yeah, I'm getting a little anxious just thinking about talking about number 1 next. Yeah.
Well, yeah. This has been a pretty long episode apparently. So whoops. Oh well. Yeah, so that's what we got for week 14. You got any last thoughts to get in there, Marcus?
No, my only thought would be just hopefully the 49ers, for my sake, can get off the schneid and get back to what they were doing before they got derailed by your team.
Yep, and hopefully the Seahawks could pull off a miracle and win out and get help.
You have 3 to 4 just guaranteed wins. I think.
I'd say 3. Houston, Chicago, Detroit for sure, but the Rams and Cardinals, those aren't guaranteed.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I meant. 3.
That's what I'm saying. It comes down to winning those 3 winnable games that they should win, and then hopefully taking care of business in those other 2. So, but they would need help probably elsewhere. So. Well, it's been a crazy year and crazy things.
I'd love to help you and keep losing because that's what they like to do. So.
It's been a crazy year and crazy things have happened, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. So.
For sure.
All right, well, yeah, that's all we got for week 14. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, and go Hawks.